Hi, Leo. Okay, so this is the February lineup. If you'd like to take a snapshot for to compare it to your natal chart, and I'm only going to go over the major themes. So, don't worry about the dates. It's these major themes that I'll be discussing that are quite important are not for that particular day or hour or what have you. They reverberate throughout the weeks and months ahead. So yeah, don't worry about like the dates that have already passed. You can even be listening to this next month because there's a theme for February. It is going to be dominated by Pisces weather, but it's a precursor to a larger event, which I'll be discussing as soon as I change the screens. Oh, and if I'm talking too fast, because I might speed it up, you can always slow down the video through clicking on the video, and the tools icon will appear. Um, and yeah, again, don't worry about the dates. And I work full time as well, and I'm going through big changes, and I'm trying to get my schedule right so that I can serve you guys better. But yeah, bear with me until I get that all squared away. All right, I'm going to jump right in. Okay, Leo. So, in regards to February, it is dominated by Pisces weather, and you may say that every year, every time we go into February, it is Pisces weather. Um, and yes, that's true. But this year it's significant because this whole month really is a precursor or like a movie trailer of what will happen with the ending of Neptune in Pisces. It's been in Pisces for almost 14 long years. And Saturn also has been in Pisces here. And after it's been almost 2.5 years, and that'll be changing signs too. And Pisces, well, first for you, Pisces is your eighth house of intimacy. I mean, true intimacy, not only sex, but really bearing your soul. It is about joint finances, it's about inheritance, taxes, credits, loans, government benefits. It is the house of how other people value you. And you do benefit from others monetarily in this house, and usually in sums. So I did mention inheritance. And it is a Pluto ruled house. So it also encompasses the taboo, secrets in the past. Um, so in the first 10 to 12 years when Neptune was transversing its home sign of Pisces, so he was 100 times more powerful than usual, um, you had a yearning, a longing for something in the eighth house. Yes, it was about money as well. Joint finances was um, somehow uncontrollable or beyond your control or beyond yours and another's control. And it could have been due to circumstances really beyond your control as well. Um, but, but there has been a yearning, a longing of trying to stabilize this area of your life. And um, with Neptune, he's the god of the ocean. He rules oil. Sorry if you hear the snoring, it's my pug. You know, perfumes, drugs and alcohol, the movie and music industry, faith, religion, spirituality, and also Pisces rules the 12th house of secrets behind the scenes, concealment, confining spaces, hidden enemies can be here where you don't know what they're doing. Um, so it's a heavy duty house, and yeah, Neptune's job is really to numb us to something that's a harsh reality. And that's why he takes such a long time to transit each sign, because that harsh reality has to be understood in a compassionate, healing sort of way. Okay, um, but he is the god of illusion and deceit um, and confusion. So there has been. Now I'm talking to the Leos, not necessarily. I mean, I'll touch on the intimacy part, but I'm talking to those Leos who it's about money, because you've taken a hit here, and not once, quite a few times, and it's been due to a partner, um, or they could say, it's been due to you. But you've had several big moves during this transit, not like even going from the city to the suburbs, or a different neighborhood. I mean, I'm talking cross country moves. You've made those kind of moves, and that has really hurt you, or hurt the joint finances aspect of it, because um, Pisces also, ironically, is about money. Um, and Pisces is the sign of the two fish. One goes one way, the other one goes the other way. So getting back to intimacy, like really being intimate with someone else, really trusting someone else, um, and having faith in that. Um, and with joint finances, uh, you've also been maybe busy. If you're older, maybe your partner um, had issues, maybe health wise, maybe, you know, psyche. And I'm not talking about like a mental breakdown, which it could have been, but I'm more so talking about um, they they were going through some kind of emotional situation where they might have been at times inconsolable, and you really expended a lot of energy in building them up, because you, Leo, are ruled by the sun, and there's nothing more powerful than the sun. Um, it illuminates everything, and everybody loves the sun. I mean, even if you see plants when they grow, they're always growing. The face is always going towards the sun. So you are the nurturing father, even if you're a woman. Um, it's a male energy, it's a fire energy, but it's nurturing. The strict father is really Saturn. And you actually rule the fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets. Leos absolutely adore pets, um, and gambling. Ironically, gambling is in here. Um, and it really all depends on your natal chart, but for a good chunk of you, it has been about money, and especially joint finances, inheritance, government benefits, things of that sort. And like I mentioned, something about your partner not being well, or maybe it was you, because we've had, Pluto and Capricorn for 18 long years, and that was your health and habits um, house that was affected. But you've really surmounted any physical ailment or anything having to do with your psyche. That transit is over and it's done with. You're actually empowered now about your health. So um, what's happening is, um, so Neptune numbed us, in particular to you, um, sort of blurred the lines about intimacy and joint finances. And you are a very proud sign, you're the lion. So you, well, with a partner, especially, there was something there that intimacy was an issue, or there was something about intimacy um, that there was a problem. Maybe you didn't trust your partner, or your partner didn't trust you. And I'm not talking about mundane. No, this is not about on the surface. This is about deep down in your soul, um, and that hurt joint finances, because remember, being a couple is about equality, being equal, even if you are, stronger than your partner. But your partner, being your partner that you've drawn in, has some power you don't. And since you're, all about ego, or the proud lion, um, maybe you never admitted that. Um, so maybe your partner might have not been completely honest with you about money, about your joint finances. Maybe your partner used to manage your joint finances, and you know they might have squirreled away some money because they saw you um, with your spending habits might have been, mm, not healthy, and they were worried, and what they did was squirrel away money, and that left you for a good long time thinking like, okay, I make all this money, where is it going? um, and you might have questioned your partner, and your partner came out with legitimate reasons, but they might have concealed the real reason. So there was something there that was in secret. It could have played out like that, Leon. Um, like it was for your own good or something like that. And your partners were able to do that because Neptune was blurring the lines. So, um, but then in 2023, Saturn came in also into Pisces, and you started seeing like major obstacles, major restrictions regarding joint finances, regarding money. And it was Saturn. Saturn restrains, constricts, um, puts up boundaries, because you started getting lost in the sea of Neptune. Um, and like I said, joint finances took a hit. Uh, so Saturn came in and threw you an anchor and pulled you back to shore, and started building a foundation for you through, yes, rules and regulations, and restricting you or a partner in some way so that you could build a healthier intimacy with your partner and more healthy joint finances. Whatever your case may have been, some of you might have completely been, broke. God forbid. You had to sell a house. You had to um, dramatically alter your budget or your finances. Or, I mean, it could have been just mundane where, the kids went away to college and got married and you had to downsize. If you don't fall into that group. Of course, it's 12, 14 years in Neptune, so many of you could have had affairs. Yeah, triangle situations because it is Pluto after all, and the taboo. It's the eighth house, but it's also Pisces, so there's compassion there. There's some kind of understanding there. In any case, when Saturn first came in and started building this structure, you actually came in with with a lot of money, and it was from a partner. Now, but there was something about this money that was there was a legacy attached to it, or an inheritance. Maybe it was your partner's inheritance, or you know, maybe I always hate to discuss this, but maybe your partner passed away. Condolences to that. That's absolutely tragic. But it might have been just old age, and then you found out about this money they've squirreled away, or whatever setup it was, um, and and then you felt comfortable. But again, regarding this money, there seemed to have been um, something about distribution. Okay, so if it was an inheritance, I mean, that makes normal sense. If it was your partner, maybe you had children and there was something about distribution, or maybe it was debts that had to be paid off, or what have you. In any case, and I know I'm not going over the alignments because it's not about the alignments this month. This month, um, fittingly, is about the theme, the bigger picture, the feeling, because it's all about Pisces. Pisces, if I didn't mention it, is the sign of the two fish. One goes one way, and the other one goes the other way. It's say as I do, not as I say, as I say, not as I do. Um, so it's very nuanced, and just going over the aspects really doesn't do you any good. Just trying to give you a clear picture, but I mean, I will go over some major aspects that are coming up. In any case, um, so your situation now, how you find yourself, is some kind of a repair of joint finances. There's a need to repair joint finances or your money, something about money. Um, and partnerships is writ large in your chart. I mean, I promised that to everybody that this would be only about the Pisces weather because, like I said, it's like a well, maybe I didn't say. I will in a minute. But for you, partnership is all over this, so I have to talk about that a little bit. In any case, so yeah, this month is a movie trailer, a precursor to how Neptune will leave Pisces. There's going to be a major ending, and if you caught the clue with Pluto leaving Capricorn, uh, you know that many people around you, um, relationships ended. Big life-changing things happened, um, and Neptune is I would say, Pluto is very, very powerful, but I would say Neptune is equally, if not even more powerful, because it's the sea, it's the ocean, it seeps into everything. It can put out fires, and about storms as well. So, and because it's such an emotional sign, and it just dominates the entire year almost. I mean, we are going to have huge shifts to new things, and we are going into air and fire signs, so it is going to be very uplifting, and it's going to feel so nice with spring and all that. Mm, But there's this thing in the background, and that's Neptune. So this month is very important. So let me just talk about a couple of aspects that are coming up, major ones. So the first week, it has happened. It's just the main one was the Venus conjunct Neptune and the North Node in Pisces. And again, even if it's past, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Um, this it's not about just on the first or that hour that these planets conjoined. This is reverberating out into days and weeks and months. So Venus conjunct Neptune on its own is absolutely dreamy. It's very, very beautiful, and and what it is again, it's about your joint finances. So something about your joint finances started. You gain Venus brings in love, money, fame, fortune, and something was there about your money, um, and it has to do with um, a partner. Or like a romance figure or something that started maybe managing again your finances, or this is a new partner and they're helping you manage that. So for example, you might have been paying way much more than you should have for, let's say, insurance, and this partner came in and got you something that's a quarter percent of that, so you save almost 75%. And that's only one example. There's many, I just want to get have you get the flavor of it. So Venus conjunct Neptune can be something like that, or it could be that you recently did get married, and this is absolutely head over heels romantic. You guys are syncing really well, or because of all these huge shifts, you might be maybe you were having problems as a couple, but it's almost as if you've reinvented this marriage to seem like it's brand new. Otherwise, yeah, if it might be you've met someone or something like that. But there is something about this partnership. Well, I'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, um, Venus not only conjunct Neptune, but it's conjuncting the North Node in Pisces, and this is quite significant because the nodes just changed signs just last month into Pisces and Virgo, and that's going to be like an 18-month journey. But the nodes are karmic in nature, and they're very powerful. So about 18, 19 years ago of karma that's coming up. So you are either owed or you owe. And um, what we what the universe wants us to do is embrace the North Node and go towards the North Node. Where we're comfortable and we know our game is the South Node. Um, so if you know anything about people's comfort zones, they don't like to move. But that's where the South Node we need to release. So the South Node is in Virgo, and that is your job, your income, and your value system. Um, So the universe wants you to embrace this North Node, this joint finances, this intimacy thing, um, and all the past and things like that. Now, the nodes are powerful in that they work with the outer planets to affect life-altering change through eclipses. So we have full moons where they signify endings, and we have the sun entering a sign and something new begins. Um, but but eclipses are much more powerful. We have no control over them. Um, they eclipse things out of our lives that do not serve us anymore, that are harmful for us. Um, and then with that eclipse, then after that comes a solar eclipse where a new opportunity fills that vacuum. Okay, so we did have a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces back mid-September last year. So for you just to get a clue of what it may be about, think back to around mid-September. Something was eclipsed regarding your eighth house. And again, I'm talking to the ones who had a problem with money. You realize then that something is ending regarding money. Um, and that was just a partial eclipse. And there was like a dual option back then. Okay. Um, but now the next eclipse in Pisces will be a full eclipse. I got to look at the eclipse charts. So I didn't really want to go into eclipse too much. I want to stay on the theme of Pisces. Maybe I'll do a standalone for the eclipses. But what is happening here, since Neptune is ending its journey in Pisces and moving on to Aries, and so is Saturn, you're on this precipitous, you're on this threshold of something ending, and so that's why the nodes have come in here, because they will eclipse whatever you don't need. So with Venus conjuncting Neptune and the North Node in Pisces, this is huge. This is beautifying. You're going to be helped somehow regarding this money issue. Okay, but there's some kind of rules, restrictions, that I'll talk about in just a little bit. Okay, um, so now on the same day and throughout this month, the Sun in Aquarius is squaring the North Node in Pisces. Well, this was a semi-square, and then it's semi-squared the Moon in Pisces. Mercury in Aquarius is doing a lot of squares too, semi-squaring Neptune and the North Node in Pisces. Excuse me. Mercury in Aquarius will semi-square Venus in Aries on the 7th. So what this tells me is, okay, for there's three Leos here. One is single Leos. There's no partner. You're either young or you might have separated or divorced or lost a partner. And again, my condolences to that. Um, the second Leos are, they have a partnership and you guys are fine. You're lovely. You're partnered. You're strong as a rock. You just have this bad weather with money, and you're going to go through get through it, or you're going to become engaged and get married. So again, talk about joint finances is normal here. Um, I'm talking about the Leos that have a partner where there are issues. There's power dynamic issues. There's control issues. Um, so if you're the dominating partner, after all, you're the lion. If you are that, you'll find yourself um, being challenged much more than you've ever been, because your partner is going to have these Aquarian qualities. Okay, Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus, the planet of shock, surprise, electricity. Um, Uranus is a very quirky um, kind of a zodiac sign and a person who embodies them, um, as well as they're very very smart, very forward or futuristic thinking. So yeah, they're called the genius of the zodiac because they go out in front of everyone gathering knowledge, and then they come back. They're sort of a know-it-all, but they're not like nerdy. They're kind of cool. um, they're quirky. They're like they can't be bothered. They're kind of those kind of things, and they seem, especially to a Leo, because you're so nurturing and you're a fire sign, um, and you're all about children and pets and romance. Um, Aquarians can be cold that way, and they're a cold winter month as well, but they just don't do emotions, and that's just how they're designed, how they were nurtured as children. Usually, Aquarians are were raised by the village or by friends. Not that they don't have parents, but they're like that. Now, I'm not saying your partner is an Aquarian. They may be, but um, what will happen to your partners is, and it's all mathematical. It's higher intelligence that's working this. Um, it'll it'll just imbue those Aquarian qualities onto your partner. And I can go through it, but it'll take about 4 hours to explain the math and how it all works. Um, um, and that's always my fear is if I talk too much. If I talk too much, and you guys I just want to know what'll happen. Um, but it's more complicated than that, and I'm not that kind of astrologer. I like to explain things more so that you can get your teeth into it, and it makes sense to you, and it helps you. Okay, so you're, I'm talking to the Leos that are feeling like scared, that are feeling like they're being controlled. Um, you might be scared, not like scared that something's bad or physical is going to happen. Nobody should ever put up with that. I'm talking about Leos that are emotionally scared of this partner. They're and you might be scared, or they might be controlling, you know, because you're used to this partner, let's say, and you love them, and you want to make it work and all that. But and if it is toxic, it will not last. The universe will somehow, some way, um, have you rid yourself of that. Because, okay, so Pluto rules fear and power and control. He was a very, very powerful god, small g, of the underworld, and people feared him. And well, I don't want to make this too much about Pluto and Aquarius because it's about Pisces, but it's so related to you. Um, but Pluto in Aquarius is going to be much more different than it was Pluto in Capricorn. That was really, really intense and deep and dark. So what happens here is Aquarius um, will work with Pluto because what Pluto wants is to take you down inside and find your fear so that you can overcome it. And Pluto says, okay, fine, I'll help you with that. But what Pluto will not accept is any kind of control or power play. It just does not do that. Um, Aquarius and Uranus are all about breaking free and freedom. So you are going to have freedom within this partnership, either with them or if need be, it has to break away, it will. It's just two powerful uh, uh, planets here working with your partnerships. And where if you don't end it, because there's something you're scared about, like you're comfortable, you like where you're at, but there's just this control issue. So even if you don't end it, it will probably come from your partner because they'll be like, you know, they'll just be tired, let's say. And it's not because there's something wrong with you. That's not it. It might be them. It's we're all put in each other's paths for a higher purpose. It is not the what you learn or what you know. It's the journey that helps you go through all that. In any case, I know I'm going so way off topic, but um, I'm trying to explain that with Leos especially, and for the month of February, in regards to joint finances, um, Aquarius is doing a lot of squares and semi squares here. So I'm just trying to let you know that um, these partners, and it doesn't have to be a personal partnership. It could be a business partnership. It could be platonic partnership. Um, your brother can be a partner. If it's people who know you really well. It could be your adult child can be a partner. Okay, but there's something about them that's they're geniuses. They're very smart. Um, they're very sensitive. And there seems to be this emotionless quality to them, or they could be going through something major in their life where they're very touchy, and it's like walking on bombshell on eggshells. Um, Whatever you experience. So again, going back to the notes. So with the Sun and Mercury and Venus doing these squares to the North Node. Then what the North Node is, it brings us a new opportunity that's karmic, um, that has to do with something about 18, 19 years ago. But it's usually a person or a situation, and it may be from the past, um, because the nodes also signify the past, but and Pisces does too, so that's a double whammy. It may be somebody from the past, but it may be somebody new, and this new person can remind you of somebody from the past. So what I'm seeing here is that um, for those of you that I'm saying that have this control or fear factor, this person is taking over your something about money, and they're actually setting you up correctly. But the fear here, the thing here is that there's something about intimacy and trust. Okay, and that's what Aquarius will help you through. Because for some of you, it could be like an agreement, like don't touch my money and I won't touch yours, something like that. Um, but you are going to make a huge move. Even if you've moved recently, you're going to be, and it has to do with purchasing a property or real estate, something that you thought would never happen or couldn't happen because of your money situation. Some of you are really struggling. I mean, you're not like dirt poor, but there's a struggle. So you're like, yeah, well, purchasing a home is never going to happen. It will actually, and but how it'll happen is there's this group, and it could be a very close knit group, um, or maybe a couple of people, or maybe your children, adult children, or maybe this partner has maybe somebody else that they bring in. But you are going to make this big move. It could be overseas or it could be another state, but it could just not be that. But there's this group that helps. So, for example, if you have like I said you're having money problems. If you've had like credit issues and you can't buy a house, and, you're maybe your child or one of these people in this group will actually carry the loan, something like that. But what I'm trying to say is it's a group thing that'll help with that. But yeah, it's this partner that initiates all this, whoever this partner is currently, who's kind of mean, quirky, and sensitive. The other thing they say about Aquarians, so I can relate when Leos say, well, yeah, they're controlling, but I can't seem to leave them, is because Aquarians, um, the saying goes, is once you get past, they're like hard candy. Once you get past that hard shell, they're all gooey inside. They're very endearing people. But yeah, but if they're way too toxic and you're suffering, the universe will step in. If you don't end it, they themselves will just walk away. In any case, the other thing I want to speak about, since this is like a movie trailer of how Neptune will be ending, and what to expect with Neptune and Saturn's journey when they enter Aries, which is your ninth house of foreigners, people at a distance, long distance traveling, higher education, um, publishing in the World Wide Web. Can be, and that's actually your forte. I mean, you can be very, very creative here. And as a matter of fact, you have had a couple of opportunities come up since last May regarding that, and you were excited about it. It was good. It was getting busier and busier, but then it stalled and it was like put on the back burner because of all the hullabaloo of last year's fiery lunar eclipse in Aries and Pluto leaving Capricorn and people divorcing and separating and people fighting and children. It was just a hot mess the end of last year. And plus, it's Jupiter. Is what I'm saying. It's in Gemini since last May. That started retrograding, so that's why it sort of went on the back burner. But hold on to your hats because Jupiter just stationed direct. So that busyness that you were having regarding foreigners long distance travel. Um, I'm sorry, it's not foreigners and long distance. I apologize, Leo. It's your 11th house, friends, groups, associations, and your hopes and wishes for the dreams. I'm so sorry. Um, that's Gemini. That's for you. That's the 11th house. And natally, Gemini rules the third house of siblings and cousins and extended family. So you're going to have something about your career or maybe unpaid work, volunteering, is you're going to be training or teaching or being some sort of like um, ambassador figure um, on a volunteering level, but you're going to be, yeah, it's involves some kind of public speaking or training. You're going to get very busy with that. Like I said, Jupiter is stationing direct and moving forward, and whatever opportunity that stalled, that's going to pick up again big time, as well as you're going to get more opportunities. But with Jupiter, it's use it or lose it. So when anything that comes up, any opportunity that comes up in regards to friends, groups, your hopes and wishes for the future, um, anything with siblings or cousins or extended family, um, grab it with both hands because Jupiter blesses um, everything he touches. And this is your opportunity to gain from others. And they will be opening doors for you. So, so that's very nice to look forward to. Now, the other thing is Venus will enter Aries on February 4th. Um, Again, so now I'm talking about your ninth house. Aries is your ninth house of foreigners, foreign lands, long distance travel, higher education, publication, and the World Wide Web. So um, Venus's transit this month and into March, Venus will be doing a rare retrograde. So she's already in shadow degrees. And you might say, well, she just entered Aries. How can she be in shadow degrees? It's because she's going to be moving forward in Aries, but then she'll stop and she'll retrograde over these degrees because she'll go all the way back into Pisces, the last degrees of Pisces. So that's why I'm saying these are still shadow degrees. Um, and it makes perfect sense because with Neptune and Saturn going in there, Venus has to get it right regarding Aries. So she's doing this back and forth, because it's really important. Besides Aries being your ninth house, Aries natally rules the image. It's the first house. So, yeah, physical appearance. Maybe you're wanting something, you're yearning for something about physical appearance as well. Um, and that'll, I mean, yeah, it's your ninth house, but there's something about image and appearance in the mix here. In any case, Venus does bring money, fame, fortune, and she will be beautifying this area for you. And you will be, ironically, um, probably getting money through this area as well. Okay, and I already mentioned Jupiter stationing direct. The next most important aspect. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Wait, where am I? There I am. Sorry, I'm looking at two different screens. Um, is Oh, the other thing is on February 4th, you might, for you single Leos, you might meet a firebrand that seems really sexy, and but the romance here is very passionate, and it's very intense because it's Aries, it's a fire sign. And actually, just be careful with this because yeah, it starts with a bang, but it might fizzle out. All that energy might be expended. The other thing is also because Venus will do the retrograde, like I mentioned, so it might get reversed. You guys might not like each other afterwards. Plus, Aries really craves excitement and independence. Um, and you're a little cool about independence, but still, you're a little on the traditional side. You don't do well with crazy. Poor Aries. Aries probably hates me. I'm just saying, be careful because there'll be a retrograde. If there's a retrograde and there's a problem, again, don't shy away from intimacy. Put yourself out there. Be vulnerable and talk. Don't be a pushover, but put yourself out there. Because Aries is also very, very compassionate. She fights for the underdog. So yeah. All right. The next important aspect I want to discuss with you guys is um, on the 7th, Venus in Aries will sextile Pluto in Aquarius. Yeah, this is very serious. Venus is a serious planet, and Pluto is a very powerful planet. Um, and again, here it's your ninth house of foreigners and education, and it is regarding a partnership, business, personal, or platonic. So if you've had any problems regarding education or foreigners or travel, um, your partner here is going to smooth this out. If you had problems between these two areas, it's going to fix because the sextile between these powerful duets is really good, um, and it's serious. If it's a romance, um, earlier I said with Aries it can be exciting and adventurous. Well, here, if it's a romance, it's fiery and scary because it's Pluto. But if you wanted to pursue this relationship, it could very well be serious. It has sticking power, is what I'm trying to say. And again, it might be a professional opportunity, um, or somebody like maybe an executive assistant or a really, really powerful friend that can do that you can recognize that they have some potential that would help out maybe a group or whatever you have going on regarding your ninth house. Okay. And some of you might be students, that might be you're taking your studies really seriously. And your professor is scary. Yeah. Anyway, the next important date is February 9th. Mercury will catch up with the sun in Aquarius, and we call that Mercury Cazimi. So here, if you're missing any information or if you've lost anything, um, because Mercury was on its way, it hadn't come in yet, you either will find this lost item or you get maybe an email or a text that you might have skipped, and you get that crucial piece of information regarding a partner or a partnership. Mhm. And on the same day, we have Mars in Cancer trine Saturn in Pisces. Okay, so this is important. This trine is the second of three trines. The first one was at the end of September, and now this, and then the third and final one will be on April 4th. So the first time this happened, well, Cancer is your 12th house of secrets, behind the scenes, confining spaces, and your spirituality. And Cancer also rules the home and family, but more so, um, well, home and family, but um, also the mother, um, or a matriarchal figure. Um, and then again, Pisces is joint finances, intimacy, government benefits, and all that. Um, End of September, something maybe hidden from you, or something in secret, or maybe something in the past, maybe you were hiding something, but it was regarding a family that you were unsure of, that you didn't really have the courage to maybe um, speak up or take action. But Saturn in your joint finances house and your intimacy house was giving you the okay to be fearless, like Mars. Um, and Mars is fearless. I mean, he drums up urgency here, but Cancer still is like very sensitive and does not do well with Mars energy. Mars energy. So what I'm just trying to say is there was some kind of a fear about a secret, about family, and a mother was involved, and something about joint finances. So here today on the ninth, yeah, the video cut off, sorry. So here today on the ninth, you get the second opportunity. Saturn is giving you the okay again, um, but you're still hesitating, and for good measure, because Mars is still retrograde. So you get another piece of information here, but you will not take full action. Um, you will though on April 4th, definitely, because you recognize the balance here, and you will wait till April 9th. Um, what's I'm sorry, I'm hesitating because there's a sliver of you. This could be about your adult child. It could be your son or your daughter, and maybe, yeah, this could make sense like that. It could be they're the partner in your life managing these finances, but they have an issue. There's an issue with their child, um, and you could help. You could maybe you tried to help, um, but you didn't have all the information. So you can, if it is that, because what I see is a child or an adult child, and there's some kind of urgency but hesitation. Um, in any case, on April, here you get another missing piece of the evidence. So missing piece of the evidence, missing piece of the whole story. Um, but there's another piece as well. Um, so that's what retrograde planets do, and Mars is retrograde, and Mars rarely goes retrograde. So this is important part of your life and their lives. That's why it keeps going back and forth over these degrees, so that you can get the full story. And on April 9th, you will have no fear at all about taking action about this situation. Mm, yeah, you and Mars will be direct, and yeah, you have that power on your side. And this is good. This is not a bad thing. It's a trying. And God, Jesus, Saturn being approving of this. Oh my God, let me get down on my knees. No, I actually like Saturn. Don't hurt me, Saturn. Um, and you are the nurturing. You know, you're very nurturing. You have no ill intent. Leos are amazing, amazing people. So this will be good, whatever it is. I mean, even if when you know people slight you, or there's, I mean, yeah, you can be scary, but um, not to loved ones. You have this beautiful way of making people feel that it's okay that a mistake was done. And it's just a beautiful aspect that Leos have. Anyway, let's move on. February 10th, Mercury in Aquarius will square Uranus in Taurus. All right. So this is kind of um, this is a hard aspect, but it is there's okay. So there will come there will be an abrupt surprise shift, and it can be from some kind of an explosive argument. Um, well, Aquarius, we've already measured out that it's your seventh house. Taurus, for you, is your house of career, status, reputation, authority figures, and all that good stuff. Taurus also natally rules the second house of income and value system and job. Um, and Aquarius natally rules groups and friends. Um, but Uranus is the wild card here. We never know what Uranus will do. It well, to give you the feel of the energy, it's like Saturn will say, oh, it's going to take us about 2.5 years to surmount these couple mountains, and we'll finally get it done. You have to be patient. Uranus says, what? Couple of years? No, we're not going around these mountains. We're flying over them. It's surprising. How Uranus works is it causes a disruption, and it can be traumatic, but in the long run, it's like you'll be like, it's a blessing in disguise kind of thing. We won't appreciate it at the time because it's so disruptive, but in the future, we're like, okay, thank God, we thought about that, or thank God this happened. So there will be some kind of explosive conversation, or maybe shocking conversation, um, or an illumination, because it's the sun, it's illuminating it. Um, between your partnership house and your career and your status and your reputation. Now, for those of you who are on the brink of maybe, this relationship is just not healthy, this might be some kind of a severing, um, for some of you. I'm not saying all of you. Um, Otherwise, because it's your career and status house. So status is married, not married, single, not single, and Aquarius is your partnership house. In any case, see what happens. Look for 23 degrees in your chart to narrow it down, focus it down to what it could be about. I mean, it could be as mundane as getting a new opportunity about a job. A partner helps you, something like that. Because a square, can be beneficial. They jumpstart things. All right, moving on. Leo, on February 12th, there will be a full moon in your sign, my dear, um, and it opposes the Aquarius sun. So this full moon, hmm, it's not a completely free full moon because it's squaring Uranus and Taurus. So whatever the sun is highlighting, whatever you're learning, you're seeing, that has been illuminated by the sun, uh, here on the 12th with the full moon in your sign, something ends with you. Something about your image, the way people see you, and it is in regards to your status or reputation. Um, and it opposes a partner. So look to the 12th. I mean, with opposition to the, see, sometimes oppositions are good as well. Um, it might be, your partner is saying, the way you appear is how people are treating you. So maybe you end something about your appearance, um, there, then, and then, again, your partner is helping you in some way to change yourself. It can be a culmination of your past efforts here as well, fruition. It's not like an eclipse. It's not really scary. The only thing that's scary is this square to Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Pluto scare me, Leo. Okay, the next important aspect is on the 14th February. So start paying attention to the conversations you're going to have, to the way you're going to be processing information, thinking, because Mercury will enter Pisces. So this will give you a clue again of the ending of Neptune in Pisces and what the discussions will be about. um, and it can relate to money. Well, first of all, it is your money house, and Pisces also is about money. So what I feel here is that there's an opportunity about money, about your money that's hidden, and it has to do with something about the past. Um, yeah. So anyway, the discussions are going to be very psychic. They're going to be very intuitive. Your dreams are going to be very vivid, and the conversations and the debates here and the thinking will be very empathetic. You'll be an empathetic listener and talker. But there's a duality of speech as well, and thinking. Because remember, the two fishes. um, it's like do what I say, not what I do. Um, it's like, someone will say words matter, and then the other person will say, "Oh God, if you're going to be literal like that in everything, it's just going to be crazy." No, words don't really matter that much. It's the overarching thing. That kind of conversation, that kind of nuanced conversation. So it can be also very confusing. So thus, very confusing, very nuanced. So you might say something but mean something else, or it's taken something else, or somebody says something to you and you might take it the wrong way. There's also exaggeration here, um, which totally makes sense that the first retrograde of this year will be Mercury in Pisces. So we will be repeating these conversations two more times to get it right, because you can imagine Mercury wants to be practical. He's transactional. He's pragmatic, and he wants to get the details right. He wants to dot the I's and cross the T's before he makes the transaction. And Pisces is like, oh, just trust me. And Mercury's not having it. Um, nobody should have it because, yeah, Mercury rules planes, trains, and automobiles. Like, hello. This could be interesting with the aviation and industry and with what Trump's it's doing and all that. It could be interesting. So there will be, yeah, confusion in thinking or talking or misinfo. So we will revisit this, but you pay attention again. It's in regards to Neptune leaving, as well as, yeah, say something means. It reminds me of the Justin Bieber song. What do you mean? You tell me to go, but you want me to stay. And actually, Justin Bieber is a Pisces, and yeah, Neptune rules the music industry and the movie industry. All right, let's go on. The next most important aspect I wanted to talk to you guys about this. Well, yeah. So Mercury enters Pisces, and then the Sun enters Pisces. So the Sun here, Leo, is illuminating and ending. And you might say, well, the Sun is, it's not the Moon, it's not a full moon. Why is it illuminating and ending? It's because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It is an ending of our journey through the entire zodiac. So it's illuminating and ending because it's anticipating a new beginning. Because then the sun will enter Aries and it'll be spring and new opportunities. So you can think of this as spring cleaning, okay, in regards to your Pisces related house. Like I said, many of you will be this partner, they'll be helping you maybe clear up credit. There you go, because the eighth house is also about credit, bank loans, and such. Um, and this is also a precursor to, yeah, never mind. I was thinking of something else. um, yeah. So also on this day, I just want to mention because, like I'm saying, it's important regarding the Neptune and Saturn transit. Is Venus in Aries will semi-square Uranus in Taurus. Uh, so something about foreigners, foreign travel, higher education, and your career and reputation sector. Um, and then Mercury in Pisces semi-sextiles Venus in Aries. So there's saving grace conversation regarding joint finances that sits well with Venus and Aries. So um, again, foreigners, foreign travel, people at a distance, you're gaining money from them, and that's giving you more money regarding your eighth house. Juno enters Sagittarius. If you have any Sagittarians in your vicinity, there will be talk about commitment here. The talk will start, and Juno will be retrograding and then going forward again. So, yeah, if there's commitment here, it's serious. Juno is serious. She was Jupiter's wife. On the 20th, we do have Mercury in Pisces squaring Jupiter in Gemini. This square is good. It's a very tense aspect. It's powerful, but it's good because there's mutual reception here. Mercury rules Gemini, and then Jupiter is the co-ruler of Pisces. So it's in each other's interests for this square to work out. And like I said, squares like jumpstart things. There's room to maneuver. It's not like a complete opposition where it's like my way or the highway. And even with oppositions can be good. So because it's a square, these are emotionally charged words or communication or debate. All right, and it may come from you or it may be about you. Um, Joint finances and yeah, contract. And in any case, after whatever this outburst is, you know, like I said, mutual reception. Each will be like, all right, we've taken it too far. It's unnecessary. We're just hurting ourselves. So there might be apologies right after or reconciliation. Excuse me. Um, all right. The next important aspect is on the 23rd. Um, Mars stations direct in Cancer. Hallelujah. Well, it's been there since September, for God's sakes. Like Mars only does 3, 4 weeks in one sign, and it's 6 months. I feel bad for Mars because Mars hates going backwards, and it does. Mars is so crucial for everybody to move on to to do that. But it was important things that happened, and we're getting finally some information. Well, we have the full information here. Okay, Mars is waking up. Oh my God, he's hated his journey going backwards. He can't believe he's going to wake up. In any case, I always say on the 23rd, pay attention because when planets station, direct or retrograde, pay attention to a few days because it's going to take a while for it to catch its steam as well. Um, Pay attention because you the veil is lifted. You get to sneak a peek of what's going on. But then on this day, also we have Mercury in Pisces trining Mars in Cancer. Mercury in Pisces semi-squaring Pluto in Aquarius. Ouch. And Ceres, the planet of compromise, enters Aries, and we have Mars stationing direct. So this day translates in some, yeah, heavy duty discussions. They can be emotional discussions. They may start out tense and sensitive, or it may have to do with whatever harsh words that were exchanged a couple of days before, and you're like, oh wait, I forgot to say this too. I want to put another 2 cents into this. um, but um, but then things are understood because, like I told you, Mercury in Pisces is nuanced, and whatever conversation comes up, it takes like 2 days to figure it out, which leads to compromise regarding your eighth house of joint finances because Ceres is coming in, and then Mars stationing direct in Cancer in your secretive house and the past. So this Mars stationing direct Mars says, okay, we are done with this talking and feeling and emotional and mushy stuff. I'm done with this all. He's the god of war. He rules Aries, fiery Aries. He doesn't have time for emotions. Um, yeah, so he'll be saying, I have the full story. Um, I'm completely confident. It's game on. Let's go. What do you want, Leo? And you'll say, I want that. And he'll be like, let's go get it. He is fearless. He doesn't care who is in front of him. And he'll be on your side. So we will put the pedal to the metal starting towards the end of the month regarding our Cancer related house, which is nice because then when Jupiter goes into Cancer, that area of your life is extended and you get opportunities there. All right, so on the 25th, Mercury conjunct Saturn in Pisces. Yeah, of course, party pooper. Just when we got things started. Oh my God, I do like Saturn, but all right. So more serious talk here, but here it's not that it's so serious, but it's just these restrictions that have been put in place by Saturn from 2 years ago. We're getting tired of it. We want to communicate something here. You want to communicate something about your joint finance, your money house. You're wanting to move forward, but Saturn is putting up these restrictions again, those same old obstacles. And many will be like, all right, I give up. I give up. And because Pisces is involved, there may be talk of spirituality and faith, and something like, it was never meant to be. God has a purpose, or it could be like, no, we'll hang on because it's just a matter of having faith, um, or manifesting it through just will. But yeah, it'll be some sort of dissuasion, some sort of just giving up. And if you've ever experienced, you know, that feeling where you just work hard and hard and hard, and you kept getting pushed back and back and back, um, and you just give up, and then something snaps, and magically, you get what you want. Um, it's like the universe says, "Okay, you've done enough suffering. I'll give it to you." That is what I see here with this Mercury conjunct Saturn and Pisces. Um, it's um, it's the energy of acceptance, healing, cathartic healing here, and accepting the pain that the lesson is learned. And Saturn then releases these restrictions because you finally understand. Because right after that, Mercury in Pisces will semi sextile Chiron in Aries. And that's a beautiful aspect because Chiron rules a wound, a hurt that never heals. Only by teaching it do you heal. And it's coming from your ninth house. So philosophy, higher education, um, publication, publishing. Oh, sorry, something with my tooth. Um, so yeah, look to something being dissuaded, and then right after, or a few days after, or when we get that trine. Remember with Mars and Cancer, and trining Saturn. I mean, I know it's Pisces, but it's still related. Maybe that's when you get it, but it's most likely here you will be because Pisces is intuitive and psychic. You will know here that yeah, because I'm throwing it up in God's hands, um, it will work out. Something like that. Because a lesser known fact about Pisces um, is deathly fearful of pain. It never wants to feel pain. That's why the whole Neptune and numbing, like you go in cold water, you freeze, but once you're completely inside, you're numb. So Pisces takes great measures to numb itself from pain. And that's what Saturn doesn't want you to do. Saturn wants you to feel the pain so that you have compassion, because if we don't feel the pain, we will continue the cycle of hurting others. But if we hurt and embrace that pain and forgive, is when we're able to break the cycle. I hope that makes sense. I know it's very philosophical. I should make Hallmark cards instead of this. All right. Okay. So then we go on to dum dum dum, a new moon in Pisces, Leo, on the 27th. And this new moon is special. Not the least that it squares Jupiter in Gemini. Um, Again, Gemini is, I don't want to make a mistake. So I'm like recording this at 2 a.m. And I have to get up and go to work. Uh, Gemini is your 11th house of friends, groups, and associations. So, well, let's talk about the square first. Again, it's mutual reception. Jupiter is a ruler of Pisces. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize. I got my info mixed up. But this new moon is still sticky because it is squaring Jupiter and Gemini. So, something about friends, groups, associations, and there's a duality for both here. So that's where I saw the mutual reception. Okay, I get it. Um, yeah, so something about money. There's a tense aspect regarding your money, um, in regards to this opportunity that's going to come through your friends, and it has to do. This opportunity is about teaching or learning or speaking, public speaking. So this square again here, this square can be beneficial. Um, so a group or a friend is offering this opportunity. It might be voluntary. That's maybe where the square is, why it's squaring. It might be voluntary, and you might have been hoping for to be paid somehow, but this will lead to something bigger. And again, it's Pisces, so Pisces is about money. So there is money going to come in somehow. Um, and going back to this new moon is special because this particular new moon, in 6 months down the line will be an eclipse. So something will be eclipsed regarding money, joint finances. You will be preparing for a new opportunity. Yeah, so that's why the square from Gemini. So the old way of doing things with your money is going to be eclipsed out, because there's no room, because you're getting this new opportunity through friends. And it may start out as voluntary, but there's money going to be coming in. Um, so I'm sorry, I was looking at my notes because then Mercury in Pisces will sextile Uranus and Taurus. That's a very nice, it's an emotional communication, a dreamy thought that will find the genius planet Uranus, finding a genius resolution regarding your money or intimacy again. So that's how, whatever this new moon opportunity is, it's the beginning of the end. It's like we had the new moon in Aries last year in April, which signaled the beginning of the end of something that ended in October with the full moon lunar eclipse in Aries, the craziest full moon I have ever experienced in my life. um, yeah, in any case, but this is Pisces. It's not volatile like Aries. Um, let alone ruled by the god of war. It will be a compassionate ending, a very cathartic, healing ending, and that's what I'm closing with. Is how this month ends is how Neptune will end its stay in Pisces, and it's not like just the minute Neptune leaves Pisces that it ends. I mean, it's a huge planet. It's been 14 years, so there's this compassion there still as well, and it might be not the exact same thing, but this month, this new moon is giving you a flavor, a theme of it, because then Saturn and Neptune will also come retrograde back into Pisces. And don't worry, please, people have been like texting me. It's not going to be us going back to the same old tired situation, because there's been restrictions here. It was Saturn. Um, I mean, Saturn will still retrograde back, but it's going to be a different world. You're going to be a different person. We're just going back because we're paying homage to the past. If you don't understand the past, you can't move forward. It's tying up loose ends. There's going to be reconciliations. There's going to be resolutions. There's going to be really cathartic healing, understanding, forgiveness, breaking the cycle. Because we want to go into 2026 with no baggage. Like I've said in my year ahead, if you hold on to two things, you will lose both things. But it's hard to let go, and that's why this retrograde back and forth. It's tying up loose ends, but compassionately. And like I said, there'll be resolutions and reconcilements and all that good stuff, but with a new way of life, with new rules that will be followed willingly and after this healing purpose. All right, Leo. I gotta go to sleep. All right, talk to you soon.